What's up, everybody? Time for another game theory video. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you can. Appreciate it. Super chat, super like, whatever. It helps. I had to get my video game stuff out of storage. That's how long it's been since I've played video games. So someone better super like this video or something. So I got asked to talk about the heaviness of, video games nowadays and the magnet effect, basically. So I'm going to give some examples of this magnet effect and the heaviness that has perpetrated and pillaged perpetrated and pillaged all intelligent thought in the fighting game community. And it shows just how pre-planned video games are as well. Let's look at something. Say we have a character like Ken, does Dragon Punch. We can see how he flies up in the air, right? Now let's say if we hit it late. Why does he... It's like, do you see, look at this, just a easy example showing the heaviness of how video games feel so contrived and so pre-planned. Look at this. Look at this. You see the advantage I'm at? I'm hitting the Dragon Punch late. I should be at a much more big advantage, right? But no, because games are so pre-planned and they don't want combos to have any sort of fluidity to them, everything must work exactly as developers planned. Examples, let's Dragon Punch. We can see how he flies into the air. Ryu's at so-and-so advantage. Now I'm going to hit it very late. Do you see how it's almost like the character got sucked down faster despite being hit later? It's like because oh, God forbid, this might allow something that we don't want to happen. We can look at old Street Fighter. He flies up at the same space, at the same, velocity. I hit the Dragon Punch late. He still flies up at the same velocity despite me hitting it late, which means I'm at a bigger advantage to, if we look at something here, a Dragon Punch from Akuma. Let's imagine you hit a Dragon Punch late in this. Oh, that means I can combo now. Well, God forbid that we're playing something like fucking Street Fighter 6. Hit a Dragon Punch right here, boom. Okay, but what if I hit the Dragon Punch late? I purposely time it to hit the Dragon Punch late. It misses for a while. I should be at a greater advantage that I might be able to get a combo. Oh, no. Because he started to fall faster now for some reason, despite me hitting the move later. Let's look at examples of this, like an example, say in Street Fighter Alpha 1. Boom. Hit my Dragon Punch late, which means I can then do another Dragon Punch to juggle. Now, if this was Street Fighter 6, the character would just fall faster, so this wouldn't work, right? Now, example of this is something I should have showed when I like to talk shit about Alpha 2 because it's such an easy game to talk shit about. But let's look at something that might interest you as well, because it shows that even in an archaic game like Street Fighter Alpha, there's still interesting stuff in it, right? So if we look at the way my mediums hit, watch how the medium hits, right? Boom, do you see his sprite? You see Charlie, he goes down like that. Boom, goes down like that. You see that? But watch my stand medium punch. Do you see how it gives him a different sort of animation when you hit him with that cancelable normal, right? We can watch it again. I think I do it in slow motion here for a little bit. Watch this. If I hit him right here, do you see how he reels back right there? But if I hit him from a little bit farther, do you see how he has a different animation? This is something that I feel like would never be in Street Fighter 6, right? And this is important because this allows you, if you know the distances at which your normal hits that causes a different reel back animation, you can then get these sort of jugs with 8 on. Whereas normally you might think that this is only a big boy combo. Oh, I got it versus a normal character because I know when the normal hits, right? Now, in a game like Alpha 2, this doesn't work properly because Alpha 2 sucks and they tried to get rid of these little obscurities. They're like just barely possible. It's just terrible. But anyway, again, let's look at the heaviness and the forced magnetism, the magneto effect of fucking these new games, dude, right? I've always said before, I don't even have to touch characters to hit them anymore. It's like a magnet. I'm not touching her, but I'm hitting her. The way the poking works in Street Fighter 6 is so weird. We also know that why the fuck do so many normals? I'm just like sliding forward. Why do I slide forward for all these normals now? It ruins the way that spacing feels, right? This sort of magnet effect that is in video games now, this heaviness, right? Even my axe kick, I'm moving forward, right? Even the way that you jump in new games feels heavy, right? Look at this. I'm jumping towards the character. Okay, a couple forward jumps, I'm right next to him. But if I try to jump back, why am I like being sucked in and I don't jump back as far as I jump forward? What? Let's look at something like this, right? Let's imagine that, say, let's talk about Ryu's hurricane kick, right? I can hurricane kick backwards at many different, velocities and ranges, whatever, to run away, right? I can tiger knee hurricane kick. Now, I'm already going to stop you right now. To someone that pretends that they're going to be smart, you're going to be like, oh, Clayton, you're going to talk about how they got rid of being able to run away with hurricane kicks, so because that's not fair to slow characters like Zangief. Well, guess what? Even in a game like Super Turbo, do you know what normally people say? They lean towards that Zangief beats Ryu. In a game like Super Turbo, where Ryu can technically, from a certain perspective, run away with backwards hurricane kick, which to the person that doesn't actually know much about video games, you might say, oh, well, that must be cheap because that's cheap for a slow character who doesn't have a fireball. Guess what? Then why does Zangief generally beat Ryu? Why is Zangief a lower tier character? One of his better matchups is often considered Ryu. Whoa. Mind blown. Your argument, I made the argument for you just in case you wanted to go, doesn't work. But we'll show this a little bit more, right? Tiger knee hurricane kick backwards. Doesn't matter if we're doing alpha 1. We can do different velocities or different ranges of what we're going to hurricane kick. We can do the tiger knee hurricane kick backwards. But this is another example of how alpha 2 is just so weird, right? Look at what happens when I try to run away with a hurricane kick in alpha 2. They made it slower because they changed like the velocity and the range that you do it, so you're not as quick when you run away. Another example of alpha 2 just being a god-awful fucking game and starting the destruction of fucking Street Fighter in so many different levels, right? Why is it so slow like that? What the fuck is going on? What? I can't run away? We've already proven that if you're going to give some bullshit example that Ryu running away with the hurricane kick is cheap and not fair for a character that doesn't have a fireball, well, we already know that Ryu loses the characters that don't have fireballs. So you know what I mean? Whoa, shocking. He also loses to slow characters sometimes. Shocking. Your argument doesn't hold up to any scrutiny. Look at a game like Street Fighter 4. Even like Street Fighter 4, oh my God, what's going on? I'm trying to run away with the hurricane kick and it like sucks you down. He's like, no, you can't go anywhere. And then God forbid, once we've reached the point like Street Fighter 6, well, guess what? You can't even hurricane kick backwards. The game literally does not allow you to even attempt to hurricane kick backwards. Do you see what I'm talking about? This heavy feeling of like fighting games now. And throughout years, it's like they're trying to pull you forward. And this magnet effect that I've talked about for so many years now, especially in this current generation of games, which would be, oh God, what would you say? I guess it could be something like past 10 years or so. Maybe 10 years is long, I guess. I'm not sure exactly. 5, 7 years, whatever it is. I'm not sure. But for so many years now, let's say that. For so many years now, there is this heaviness that is pillaging the brains of people, that this is how it's supposed to be. It's pulverized your brain. It is sticking a boner up your butthole, even if you don't swing that way. It's terrible. Especially, again, you think about a game like just Guilty Gear Strive, But again, these new games, they feel so heavy. And there's this magnet effect that is constantly feels like it's pulling you towards the other character, and it's extremely unnatural feeling. Anyway, just some examples. You know who you are that asked for this video. I had to go in my basement. I had to dust off the controllers. I had everything packed because I'm like, I don't even know the next time I'm going to play games. So I had to dust everything off. You better leave me $1. Fuck you. Anyway, remember if you like the videos, like, sub, comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.